Hello and welcome to this episode of Scrapneek TV. For today's episode, I'll actually be doing it in 3 parts. So there'll be 3 different ones you could watch. I will be scrapping the layout 3 times in 3 different software editors. I'm going to be starting here with Pixlr.com/editors. This is one you can access right on your browser. You just type in Pixlr.com and it will bring this up, and click on the little arrows, and you'll just want the launch web app for the editor. And then you can create a new image, and you'll want to change this, or actually just leave it there, and then on the width do 3600, and on the height 3600. That makes it 12 by 12 because this is in pixels. Click the transparent and OK. And there we go. And you're ready to get started. And I've got this over here and I've pulled in a picture. And what we're going to do is I'm going to turn this to a black and white and still keep this layered picture, but I'm going to duplicate it, turn it black and white, blend it into the background. So to make a copy, I'm going to go up to Image, let's see, Layer, Duplicate Layer. And as you can see over here, we've got 2 of them, and I'm going to take the check mark off on this top one and highlight the second one. So if I move this here, but I reapply that one, you can see where our colored one is on top. We're going to leave that one and take that off still, but move this one here. Okay, and this one I'm actually going to stretch and make bigger. It's going to affect the quality, but because we're going to be blending it, it's okay if we lose some of the quality. So to do that, I'm going to come over to Edit, and I'm going to click Free Transform, and this puts the little box around, and I'll just want to hold Shift, and I can make it as big as I want. I think we'll go about this big. And then when we click on that, it says, do you want to apply the changes? And we click yes. Okay, now we're going to turn this to black and white. So we're going to click up here on Adjustment, and we're going to choose Hue and Saturation. And because we're taking all the color out, we can go down to Saturation, and however much you can, if you want it really desaturated, whatever it is that you want. But we're going to go all the way down to desaturation. You can make it a little lighter, darker. It doesn't need to be we don't need to worry about it being super great. If anything, we do want it a little, maybe, yeah, just about there is good. Click OK, because we are going to be blending this. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to pull in a paper that we're going to blend into this. So we're going to do Edit. No, sorry again. We're going to do Layer, Open Image as Layer. And we are going to open up this little Magical Vacation mini that is free in this blog post. And we're going to choose the plain white paper. And we open it up. And now you can see that we've got on top the layer that's hidden, then we've got the white, and then we've got our photo. So we're going to move the photo on top. Okay, so now that we have that here, we are going to now work on blending it. So if we click on Layer Styles, no, that isn't the one we want. So we're going to come up, Filter. I'm not as super good with Pixlr as I am with the others, so it's always kind of a little bit trying to find where they do things. Just trying to see where we blend it. And maybe it doesn't have the blend options quite like quite like they have in Photoshop, but we can still make it work. So I think just gonna try just like a couple more things, because even if all we do is adjust, I'm thinking it's gonna be somewhere in these. Even if we just change the opacity on it. Okay. Then we are going to try not invert, not desaturate. Oh, I really thought they would at least have a way to change the opacity. So maybe this isn't something, oops. Well, here's a good lesson if you are trying to figure out Pixlr yourself and you're fairly new to it. You can always click help and it will bring you over to here, and we're just going to put change opacity. And there are a lot of things you can look up and see what you can do. Crop, move, marquee. So yeah, these aren't really any of the ones we're looking for. So we'll go back and try the basics of working with layers. Maybe this will give us changing the opacity. The button at the bottom left of the layers menu lets you control the opacity of any layer. Okay, so the button at the bottom left of the layers. Oh, there we go. So if we click this little button right here, we can change the opacity. So we're just gonna, oh, and this does have the different modes. So there we go. That's what we were looking for. So we can do like overlay, change the opacity back up. So there. Oh, good. I'm glad we looked that up. So this little button on our layer bar is where we're going to find opacity and then the mode, the different mode that we want to choose. Screen is a little lighter. I liked the overlay, but there are different ones you can try. Okay, so one last step we're going to do. I'm going to move this kind of down into the corner so that I can create my layout on the side here. But we are going to get the eraser tool. Oh, here it is. And no, that's not that. What I was looking for. So I was hoping that we could make it bigger, but oh, yeah, this is a great option when you don't have Photoshop, but it's not necessarily the best option either. There are things that you can do with Photoshop that just don't work in this. So I'm just going to kind of go around because I want it to be not quite as look that sharp square. Oh, and it would be so much better if we could make this bigger. In fact, I'm going to just cut it with the lasso tool. So that's the other thing we can do. We can go around and draw around our photo and click delete. And it's not the perfect option, but and then deselect. Okay, so then we can take our burn tool, the smudge tool. No, not that. Okay, well, this is gonna be good enough. I wish there was a way that we could blend in these sides more and have this part be, but this part be more blended. Let's see. Yeah. So probably if I were going to be doing this photo in Pixlr and I were going to be blending it, I would probably just blend the whole photo and have a photo that had plenty of white space over here that we could still scrap and not lose some of our, not scrap over the main focus of our picture, because it doesn't give us really a good option for kind of blending in these corners. This part looks blended, but not having the sides there. So, and then once you get that blended to that point, then you would just scrap. We would come over here. Oops. Highlight that layer. Oh, keep that on top. Okay. And then we would go through and go ahead and scrap. Like I said, it's not really the type of photo. This has been too cropped. If you've got a photo that's got lots of space out here where the people are small, that would work a lot better for blending it. But you know, work with it the best that you can, and that's the way that you change the opacity on a layer in Pixlr. Thank you for joining me, and for more tutorials and free scrapping resources, you can find them at thedigicrafter.com.